What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Elijah. Getting ready to talk some Super Bowl preview and prediction. Got a lot of notes here. All right. Hope y'all's week is going well. Hope you know. I'm gonna make sure my audio sounds good. Hope your day's been going well as well. I would get nervous. Oh no, the audio is. Echo going. What in the world? Hold on. Technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Appreciate you guys being patient.
We're still figuring out, technical difficulties. It's always a pain in the behind. You know how it is. But we're going to keep it grooving. All right, let's see. Got to check the whole. Oh, I closed out the stream. You got to be kidding me. I appreciate you guys waiting around. The chat's going crazy. I love it. Drop the predictions. We got Chili Rainbow. Oh, Chili Rainbow got 49ers, 24, Chiefs, 17. Bold. Oh, Chili Rainbow said good. All right. No, you're all good, man. No worries. I appreciate you helping. No, it's all good. Welcome to Fantasy Blitz. It's your boy Elijah. If you were here before and you saw that, no, you didn't. You didn't see any of that. Got a shout out to DeMundy for helping us out over here. I really appreciate it. Look at that, fixing the camera, fixing my audio. I gotta be over here, Real quick, Nick, who you got for the Super Bowl?
I gotta go
Niners?
I'm a Purdy boy.
He's a Purdy, and you are a Purdy boy. You are a Purdy boy. I do believe that. I like it, though. I like the 49ers picks, but I'll give you all mine later on. But Very excited. I appreciate you guys sticking around. We're going to be talking prediction, preview, and as well a little bit of NFL awards, just a little bit. I'm going to be talking about MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player, Offensive Rookie, Defensive Rookie, and Comeback Player, as well as Coach. I'm going to be a little bit into that, just a slight bit, not a lot. But let me know how y'all's week's been. Appreciate you guys tuning in and all that. Sorry about the technical difficulties. But yeah, let's get right into it. Let's see if... All right, nope, I got to go switch over the mouse clicker on the other side. Oh, my goodness. What a show. All right, here we go. We should be good. Let me click on over. All right, we're looking pretty. Or should I say we're looking purdy. Let me get a sip of my yerba. Oh, my goodness. Guys, that was crazy. I literally had to... I started the show, and then all of a sudden, like, I hear echoing. That's why you always got to check. I heard echoing from my phone, and I was like, that's not normal at all, and I'm not too tech savvy, so I had to go look for Nick, and then I look for him. I come down here, and he's already here. So shout out to Nick. Really do appreciate him. Him, Hudson, Adam, whole Hit Network team for even allowing me to do this. But without further ado, let's get into the topics of the day. So we got preview of Super Bowl 58 and keys for each team, and then I decided to do a little bit of NFL awards after, the whole shebang about the Super Bowl. But we won't go, talking about that too much, but let's move on. So, Kansas City Chiefs preview. I'm going to go team by team. So, I'll start with the Chiefs, start with the 49ers, and then I'll do keys for the game, and then I'll give my little prediction. I have a T-chart of the depth chart on who I prefer on each side. So, very standard stuff, easy stuff. Buckle up, enjoy the ride. Let's get into it. And also, blow up the chat, guys. I really do appreciate it. I want to know who y'all think MVP is going to be for regular season and Super Bowl. And score predictions, total, prop bets, all of that. What's the coin toss going to be, heads or tails? I don't know. You got a 50-50 chance. We'll find out. So, for the Chiefs, I just did offensive players and team defense stats. So, I did offensive player stats and team defense. So, with Patrick Mahomes in the postseason so far, he's got 70 completions out of 103 attempts. That's 68%. 718 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's in 3 total games because they played in the wild card. They defeated the Dolphins, the Bills, and my Ravens. Yes, I am wearing my Ravens gear. I was inspired, but it should be the Ravens. We should be talking about the Ravens, but we're not. We're talking about Mahomes and the Chiefs. So Mahomes looks on fire so far in the postseason. He looks comfortable. He looks like the regular Patrick Mahomes. I'm excited to see how he fares against this 49ers defense because a little preview for the 49ers, they only have 2 sacks and from one player the entire postseason. But I do think they'll apply a little bit more pressure. Obviously, you don't want to rush too many and then get some of those receivers open, even though the depth chart for the receivers isn't too wide, But I do trust Mahomes to do well. For Pacheco, he's got 63 carries, 254 yards. That's 4 yards per carry. And then 3 touchdowns. He's got 1 fumble, but he didn't lose it. They got it back. I'm very confident in Pacheco. I think he is obviously, you need Mahomes, Kelsey to do well, right? But I've been saying the entire postseason, if Pacheco can do well, this entire team, man, they're on a different level. It's actually insane how good the offense can be if Pacheco is running the ball well. But then we'll move on to the wide receiver and tight end. So with Kelsey and Rice combined, this blew my mind, all right? And I'll repeat the stat later just because it actually, when I was doing some research yesterday, I was blown away. So combined with Travis Kelsey and Rashee Rice, they have 43 catches, 52 targets, 485 yards, and 4 touchdowns combined. Okay, that's not the crazy part. This is what it is. No other receiver / tight end has had double-digit targets or receptions. The closest player to have double-digit targets is their backup tight end, Noah Gray. Noah Gray. Doesn't that say something about the Kansas City wideouts? I mean, they have talent. I know Kadarius Toney, womp womp. Like, I know he's dropping balls, he's not making plays, getting offsides. But there is talent on this roster with MVS and Kadarius Toney. I'm just blown away because it clearly shows that Mahomes has favor in Travis Kelsey and Rashee Rice. So I'm a little conflicted on if they get shut down, how Mahomes is going to Mahome. You know, I do think he'll be fine. But, man, it's clear that Kelsey and Rice are the guys to go to. Maybe they're the guys that are going to score touchdowns. I don't know. But it's a Super Bowl. You never know who's going to score. Like, Kadarius Toney scored last year, but he was a different animal last year. But as far as their defense goes, their defense has 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and 6 sacks. All right, that's amazing. They have triple the amount of sacks the 49ers have this postseason. Granted, they have played another game. However, triple? I mean, my goodness, that's insane. But then they have allowed 13.7 points per game in the postseason. They held the Ravens to 10 points in the AFC Championship game at home. They were playing away in Baltimore Stadium, and they held them to 10 points. That's a stellar defense. We've also been saying this entire time, all year in Fantasy Blitz, that this is Mahomes' best defense he's ever had, and arguably his worst offense he's had. So you can see how important a defense can be. But let's see, their third down. I did the third down conversions on offense and defense for both teams. I was surprised by this. The Chiefs, they are 39.47% on third down conversion, but on defense is where it really helps them. They're 29.73 on defense. So you can clearly see the balance there. They're fantastic on defense. Their offense, I think the reason for it being 39.47 is because they're not often playing on third down. And a lot of times, if you watch the Ravens game, their third down conversion, or not conversions, but their third down plays, they were in bad situations, third and long, third and 12, whatever that may be. Just simply because there was a sack or a bad play, a couple incompletions that they just couldn't move the ball forward. But yeah, very curious to see how this team does on third down, especially against San Francisco, because they have a favorable lineup on offense and third down. So that's the stat to look out for, is third down play. Every football game that's ever been played and ever will be played, third down is going to be top 3, top 5 factor in the entire game. So let's move on to the San Francisco 49ers, their preview. All right. We're going to look at Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and DEEBO Samuel and George Kittle's combined stats. So let's move on to them. With Brock Purdy, San Francisco's played a total of 2 games. They beat the Packers, and then they beat the Lions. Had an incredible comeback against the Lions 2 weeks ago. Wow, I can't believe it was 2 weeks ago. It was a great game to watch, but Purdy, he didn't do too great. We're going to read over his stats. He's 43 for 70, 61.4%. Yes, you're not going to be throwing the ball as much, especially with a guy named Christian McCaffrey being on your team. But he's thrown 2 touchdowns, 519 yards, 1 interception. Not great, 2 touchdowns in 2 games. I think he might have a rushing touchdown. I don't really look into his rushing stats because it's Brock Purdy. He's not a rusher at all. So before we get into Christian McCaffrey stats, I'm going to look over here at the chat. Loving the chat over here. Appreciate you guys blowing it up. Let's go. Oh, man, you guys are blowing it up. So let's go 5 minutes. So Wayne Heron's got Chiefs 24, 49ers 17. I like that prediction. This one's really a toss-up. The line is 49ers -2. But I'm very confused because I feel like the Chiefs are the better team. So Vegas must know something. I don't know. We'll see what the Sharks do come Sunday because they're going to start betting all that. Let's go. Tay plus or minus 5 minutes on air. I'm going minus just because I saw a stat that was that she really is on air like a total of 1.5 minutes each game. But mentions, I think, is what you got to look at. I think she's going to be mentioned more than 5 times. But I like that, Angelo. That's a very good prop bet to look out for. Let's go. Yeah, Tay def plus 5 minutes. Wayne Heron said, yeah, I would agree, whatever it is. What a dumb name. Brandon Burke. What up, Brandon? Go Seahawks. He says that's because playoff Lamar choked and Zay through the game. All right, okay, whoa. I'm not going to allow any Lamar Jackson slander on here. I don't think he did that bad. That Chiefs defense is fantastic. I know what you know. I know that you're, excuse me. I got to breathe, man. Lamar is my boy. I know that you know what you're talking about, Brandon, but I don't think he choked. I think that defense and offense the defense didn't let him down. The offense let him down as a whole. Jim Harbaugh is who let him down. Or John Harbaugh, excuse me. So I wouldn't say Lamar choked, but if you want to say that, sure, go ahead. It is what it is. All right, let's get back to the 49ers preview. So with Christian McCaffrey, he's got 37 carries, 188 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. That's fantastic. Pacheco's got 4, so that's also fantastic. But, I mean, if you go by the stats, every 2 carries is going to be a first down. So you're never going to run into a third down scenario. He's got 4 total touchdowns on the ground. I didn't write this down, but he's also the most targeted option on the entire team. He's got 17 total targets. The next highest, I think, I believe it's Kittle or DEEBO with 9. But we'll move on to DEEBO and Kittle. DEEBO and Kittle combined 16 receptions for 21 targets, 221 yards, and only 1 touchdown. That comes from, I believe, let's go, I think it was from Kittle. Also, this thing just popped up on the screen. Let me move this over. But yes, oh my goodness, this is a day and a half. My goodness. See, look, I'll show y'all. Look at that. Unbelievable, man. Oh my goodness. As you can see, we're very, very chill over here at Fantasy Blitz. But, you know, still starting up. We'll move on to the defensive side of San Francisco. They have allowed 26 points per game in the postseason. Granted, that is 2 games that they have played. And there was a garbage time touchdown that the Lions had. So the points is kind of skewed there. However, compared to 13.7 from the Chiefs and then 26 from the 49ers, it kind of shows you who plays better team defense. I do think, well, no, we'll get into that later. So the defense has 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 sacks. That's coming from Nick Bosa. Chase Young looks good on the pressure, but it looks like he just doesn't get to the quarterback in time. It is what it is. Here's what's crazy, though. Third down percentages, all right? For offense, they have a 57.1% third down conversion rate. That is the Kyle Shanahan special right there. That guy knows how to make calls, except late in games. I'm still salty as a Falcons fan. 57.1% on offense, but on defense, they lack. They're very lackluster. 52% on third down. That is terrible. You should not be, as a team, you should not, be allowing half of the third downs being converted. That's ridiculous. You won't win a Super Bowl like that, so they really have to hunker down. I believe they can do it so. And then comparing Pacheco, because I think the matchup, I know it's Mahomes versus Purdy, but the run game is huge. I really think between McCaffrey and Pacheco, McCaffrey is the better player, obviously, but who can draw up better plays for each guy? Because obviously we know McCaffrey is going to be involved, right, in all sorts of ways. But how? How are the Chiefs going to get after that? How are the 49ers going to attack? Same thing with Pacheco. How in the world are the 49ers going to stop Mahomes and Pacheco? They can't, obviously they're professionals, so they can focus on either. But how are you going to stop both? But 2 big plays, which is 20 yards plus from Pacheco, and 4 big plays from Christian McCaffrey playing 1 less game. Don't know what it looks like because I think Pacheco's had a few 15-yard plays, which don't count as big plays. But very excited to see where that comes from. Very nervous, man. Very nervous. But I don't know why I'm nervous. I'm just a big football fan. This is a rematch of the 2020 Super Bowl. The Chiefs did win 31-20. Chiefs scored 21 unanswered in the 4th quarter. Incredible. That game was nuts. I think when Mahomes won that Super Bowl, if you guys agree, let me know. When we saw him win that, I had a feeling of okay, this is definitely not his last Super Bowl that we're going to see. And now we're potentially going to see him win his 3rd. In 5 years? 4 years? It's crazy. Crazy times we live in. Let's look at the chat before we look in the keys to the game. So we got Brandon saying, who do you have for MVP? I got you. Oh, I got you, Brandon. Perfect, man. This is amazing. We're going to get into that just a little bit later, right after the Super Bowl preview and prediction. But very curious to see who you got. Let me know who y'all got in the chat. I love to know that kind of stuff because you can't really predict it. Like comeback player of the year, I have no idea. Personally, I can't give it away yet. But, Flacco, Baker's up there. We'll see who's got it. Then we got, Mr. Hammond, what up? Do you think Taylor Swift will make it to the Super Bowl in time, even though she has a show in Tokyo the day before? Yeah, I saw that whole thing. I have no idea. Personally, I don't really care. Yeah, the whole jet fuel stuff or burning. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's ridiculous. Football. That's what I care about. But memes are funny too. Then we got Angelo. Let's go. Who is that? Spag will take care of Christian McCaffrey. Who is Spag? Who are you talking about? But yeah, I can see it happening. That Chiefs defense, man, they're insane. There's a kid that'll be tracking for the. Oh yeah, they will be tracking their plane. They've already leaked a lot of her stuff, so it's crazy. I don't know. I didn't get that in any of my notes though, so don't care. Hayden's laughing. Yes, sir. Of course, it's funny. It is what it is. Love me a good meme. And then Brandon's got the kid's being sued by her. Oh yeah, that is crazy. Okay, I gotta get out of here. And then Baker deserves more respect. He could still be a star. I believe so. And Chili said, I'm sure she'll make it. I'm sure she will as well. It's Taylor Swift. Probably the most popular person in the world right now. It's incredible. Let's see. Do I want to do fun facts next, or want to do prediction? Or the keys? Oh, we'll go keys the game. Let's go. Whoa. Before y'all see that, a little tease. You got to like and subscribe, all right? I don't know how many likes we're at right now because I can't see it in the chat. Well, actually, I can look at my phone. Oh, we got 7 likes. I appreciate you guys. Let's continue liking the video. If y'all could really share this, as I always say, your grandma, your grandpa, your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, your cousins, your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, whoever you can think of, share this video, share the channel. We're trying to make it the best fantasy football show. I know we're only talking Super Bowl right now, but there's no fantasy going on. But I appreciate you guys watching, tuning in on a Thursday afternoon. We're going to try to go live every Tuesday and Thursday. But right now with my schedule, I can only be here on Thursdays. Would love to get in here 2 days a week when the regular season starts. Because Tuesdays we usually did waiver targets, and Thursdays we did start and sits. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's move on to the keys of the game. So, Chiefs and Niners, as I said earlier, the Niners are 2-point favorites. We'll start with the Chiefs. Play your style. Let Mahomes do his thing, all right? He is still top 3 quarterback in the league. I would honestly say if we're just not looking at this year alone, he's probably the best in the league. So you got to play your style. Let him throw the ball. Let Andy Reid call the normal plays. Do not try anything fancy. Don't pull a Ravens. Stick to your bread and butter. As I said last week, if you don't got your bread and butter, you can't make a sandwich and you can't eat, all right? Contain the wideout options. 49ers got way better receivers than the Chiefs do by far. Make sure you contain those guys. They look a whole lot better than they did in 2020. Very curious to see how they lock them up. Ladarius Sneed, man, that guy is incredible on the Chiefs, so curious to see who he follows on the field. So contain those guys. I don't even want to say contain McCaffrey because, that's an obvious. But so if you can contain McCaffrey and make Purdy make plays all game, it could get ugly real quick. All right, get after Purdy early. Purdy early. That's pretty early, man. Oh, my goodness. But you got to get him rattled. If you know, you know. You got to get him rattled. But if you can get Brock Purdy looking scared and looking like he's seeing ghost out there, you're looking pretty good. I can't lie. Just because we've seen it, we've seen what it looks like when he's rattled early. He throws picks. He just doesn't look like he's ready to stay in the game. So get after him early. Shut the game over before it's even done. Get someone other than Kelsey and Rice involved. That's not including Pacheco. I think it's inevitable that Pacheco will be playing or getting a lot of snaps in. So get MVS the ball. Even Kadarius Toney. I know he kind of stinks this year, but he is athletic, Throw him a little, throw him a little slant or something I don't know. But I'm sure the 49ers are looking at Kelsey and Rashee Rice to shut him down. I'm not even worried about that, though. With the 49ers, you got to put pressure on Mahomes. You absolutely have to because he is the ultimate X factor. All right, I know I said Pacheco earlier, but he is the ultimate X factor because if Mahomes isn't playing well, there's no way this team is going to play well. So you got to put pressure on him. Eliminate the big plays. So Pacheco loves getting those big plays of 15 yards or more. Even Mahomes, even just 20 yards or more. If you can shut him down, keep their average play or average yards per play around 4, which I know is crazy. 4 yards or 5 yards, that's very good because then they have no room to get down the field quickly. The Chiefs, I didn't include this in the stats, but I just know it off the top of my head. The Chiefs hold the ball on average in the postseason for 31 minutes per game, which is just over half. So if you can somehow get them to punt more than often, more opportunities, man. That's what you need. Christian McCaffrey needs at least 20 touches. If I could put that in bold, underline, italicized, whatever it may be, at least 20 touches. He is your best player by far. Don't try anything fancy. All right, we saw in the Packers game. We saw in the Lions game. when they don't give it to him on drives, the drives don't end well, all right? So get him the ball, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And the last but not least, no turnovers. Oh, my goodness, this is not a bakery. No turnovers. You do not want to give the ball to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs more than they are going to get it, right? They're an offensive scoring machine. Like, they do what they can, and they will do it. You know, they will score at any cost, whether they're on the 1 yard line or the 50 or the 20, wherever it may be. So don't even give them the ball. Purdy, hold on to that thing, all right? So those are the keys to the game. I have a little bit of a depth chart. You can't really see it on my notes. Kind of. It's a teacher. You can't really see it. That's all right, though. But for quarterback, I'm going Mahomes. He looks a whole lot better. So we're gonna. I'm getting ahead of myself. I got quarterback, running back, tight end, wide receiver, O-line, D-line, DBs, and special team. So before we get into that, let me look over the chat. Love that you guys are blowing up the chat. I really do appreciate it. It makes me feel just like happy, you know, just happy and warm. So let's look over here. Let's go. Angelo said KCD. Oh, the DC. I did not know his name. Yeah, that guy, yeah, he's incredible. That guy's nuts. I definitely think he'll have something up his sleeve. Chili Rainbow, thumbs up, absolutely. Okay, I'm not reading that. Justin Watson, yes sir, yes sir. Oh yeah, he's pretty good. Rasheed Rice Masterclass. I do believe it's coming. That guy's incredible. Mahomes will run over 200. How much money do you think you would make if you just put like $5 down on that? That's incredible. There's a lot of prop bets. I don't know if y'all looking at that kind of stuff. I don't gamble at all, but I like looking at that stuff. But yeah, I think Mahomes will use his legs just because he knows he's not fast, but he knows how to run. That's what's crazy about it. So for quarterback, I have the Chiefs. Obviously, I got Mahomes. I'm going with a 2-time Super Bowl winning champ. Purdy's good. He needs to play out of his mind. He can't just play good. He can't just play well, right? He needs to play like crazy. All right. Running back, Christian McCaffrey, easily, just because it's Christian McCaffrey. You know, the guy's up for, I believe he's up for MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Pacheco's not. No diss to Pacheco, but it's Christian McCaffrey. Need I say more? Tight end, this one was tough just because Travis Kelce and George Kittle are arguably like top 3 tight ends in the league. I did go with Travis Kelce, though, so check mark for the Chiefs. Just because, I mean, dude, big-time games against the Ravens. He went 11 for 11. Are you kidding me? That's incredible. This guy's nuts. But I'm not counting out George Kittle. Guy's incredible, too. But I got to give it to Travis Kelce. Wide receiver core, got to go with San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk, DEEBO Samuel, those guys are insane. They're just freakishly fast and athletic. You know, if you ever see DEEBO Samuel coming around on the end around, just be aware. You know, if he gets a couple blocks in front of him, he could be gone. So they're very versatile. O-line, I'm going with Kansas City. Brock Purdy just looks like he has not all the time in the world when he's in the pocket. But Patrick Mahomes, whenever there is pressure, they've sent a blitz package that the O-line just didn't pick up. But he looks comfortable out there. D-line, I'm going with San Francisco. I know 49ers aren't as good, quote-unquote, with the talent, but that D-line, man, with Chase Young, Nick Bosa, crazy. I can't not pick them, so I'm standing on business with them. And then DBs, got to go with the Chiefs. They're not, I mean, they shut down almost every receiver that plays. At least one of their receivers, that is. In the special teams, got to go with Harrison Butker over Jake Moody. Harrison Butker, man, that guy's clutch. It's crazy. He's insanely clutch. You know, I can like him now because he's no longer with the Yellow Jackets. But, you know, it is what it is. So, with that being said, on the depth chart, I have the Chiefs 5-3 compared to the 49ers. So, let me get in my prediction. All right, buckle up. Here we go. Before I get into the prediction, let me look at the chat. We got Wayne Heron said Angelo might be right, but Mahomes could surprise us with that run. Yeah, that would be nuts. If he somehow does that, I mean, instantly GOAT. Like, undisputed GOAT. Number 1. Yes, correct, Chili Rainbow. Number 1. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, here we go. I'm getting my yerba sip real quick. I got to get another one. So, it's going to be a great game. I do think it will be close. I don't know how close it will be towards the end, but I do think through the first 3 quarters it will be back and forth. I don't see any comebacks coming in. I don't see a blowout at all. Both teams want to prove something. 49ers want that revenge. They want to get their first Super Bowl in Lord knows how long. Chiefs really want to go back-to-back, like I said. And I think that's going to be the motivator. I have the Chiefs winning 31-27. I don't have like a game-winning drive. I don't have any certain plays that are going to happen because this stuff's unpredictable. You never know. But I do think Chiefs are just they're a better team, man. Like I really don't know why Vegas has the 49ers as -2. I get it that they're on paper like statistically they're probably the better team. They've looked better all season. But me personally, it's Patrick Mahomes. I have betted against that man maybe 3 times, and each time I have looked like a fool. I'm not going against him. Like I don't say ever again, but as far as time looks, I can't do it. So I got the Chiefs winning 31-27. Patrick Mahomes is going to be the MVP. It's going to be nuts, man. Buckle up. Hey, watch it with your friends. Watch it with your family. Get some wings. Get some pizza. Good dip. Sit back, relax. This is when it stinks. It's a double-edged sword watching the Super Bowl because, your team's not in it and you wish your team was. But, you get to go to bed the same way. And eggs will taste the same in the morning. It'll be okay. No worries from over here. So let me know what y'all got in the chat. Well, let's look over here real quick. Got Angelo. He said Kansas City 24-21. Angelo, you got them winning on a game-winning field goal or what you got? But I do like the prediction. I think it's going to be close. I've seen a couple of predictions online that have either team winning by like double digits, and I don't know how that's possible at all. Then we got Coin Operator. Hey, just tuning in. Number 1 fan here. Absolutely, Coin Operator. I think you and Chili are neck and neck for that stuff, but I love you guys both. Y'all have been here. Hey, for those that are new, Coin Operator and Chili have been here since day 1. Appreciate you guys watching. Means so much. Means everything to us over here. Then we got, hey, what up? Number 1 seed San Francisco versus 3 seed Kansas City. That's the reason. Yeah, I understand that for sure. I really do. But it's just, I feel like the Chiefs have defined like all odds except for the Miami game, but they weren't favored against the Bills, right? They weren't favored against the Ravens. And here they are, underdogs once again, Very, very curious. I do think that line will drop to at least maybe -1 or -1.5 or even a pick 'em. Like I said, way before in the show, like maybe weeks ago, lines don't really move like multiple points or so. They usually do in college basketball, but not in NFL. Not professional stuff over here. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But the Sharks will definitely pick on Sunday morning, a few hours before kickoff. They will put all their money on either the Chiefs or the 49ers, and I guarantee that you will see a line shift, whether it's 1.5 or, that way or this way, whatever it may be. So we'll see how it is. Let me know again. Keep commenting on with the comments who y'all got in the Super Bowl. Score predictions, MVP, whatnot. And then last part of the show, got to wrap it up here pretty soon. We have the awards. So I'm going to go over the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie, Defensive Rookie, Comeback Player, and Coach of the Year. I don't know. I'll start with Defensive Player of the Year. I want to end MVP just because, But we have Darren Bland, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, Michael Parsons, and TJ Watt. Don't have any stats for these guys, so this is more so if you've been watching all year, just kind of understanding, who these guys are, why they're even nominated. Because I think I was looking at the list this morning. I don't think anyone got this list wrong at all. It's fantastic with the nominees that they got. So I chose Myles Garrett. I could either also go with Micah Parsons, but I really went Myles Garrett because he was in the news all year, had a ton of sacks, ton of pressures. He looked great all year. So Myles Garrett is my Defensive Player of the Year. Then we have Offensive Player of the Year, which I'll explain. I have beef with the Offensive Player of the Year. We have Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott. Straight to the point, no faking. I have Christian McCaffrey. Guy's been insane. He was our Fantasy Blitz MVP of the year, so I got to go with him. He's been a baller all season. Very proud of that guy just because I'm glad that he's finally out of Carolina because a few years in, if you were watching Carolina football or Christian McCaffrey, you knew oh my gosh, this guy won't won't last too long with them because they're just a dumpster fire. Especially after Cam, the whole thing went down. So I'm going Christian McCaffrey. All those guys, though, like I said, I do believe Dak Prescott should be on that list. I do believe CeeDee Lamb should be on that list. He was I think he was our wide receiver of the year. Yeah, he was our wide receiver of the year. So fantastic list. Offensive rookie of the year, we got C.J. Stroud, Puka Nacua, Sam Laporta, Bijan Robinson, and Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think it will be Jahmyr. I think he could have been more of a nominee or front runner if Dan Campbell used him more in the first half of the season, but he didn't. So it is what it is. So don't have Gibbs. Don't have Bijan because, that's just didn't work out, man. Womp womp. But Raheem Morris, he'll take us to the promised land. I don't have Laporta, but he did great for a rookie tight end. So it really came down to Puka and C.J. Stroud. Puka broke the rookie receiving yards, rookie receptions. But I got to go with C.J. Stroud. Guy looked fantastic. He was overlooked a lot for the being selected second overall, which is okay. That's how it happens in the draft. But I really think C.J. Stroud showed us that he is here to stay. He's here to take the Texans. He took them to the divisional title, won a playoff game with them, and his best receiver is Nico Collins. No diss to Nico Collins, but that's your best receiver. That's great. And you're doing that? Fantastic. Good job. Love C.J. Stroud. Check mark for him. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we have Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Joey Porter Jr., Kobe Turner, and Devin Witherspoon. So I might have to show a little bit of bias here, but I'm okay with that because I do keep my journalism face on. I don't have Will Anderson. Joey Porter looked great. I don't think he was talked about enough throughout the season. I was very happy to see he was nominated. Kobe Turner, no sir. So it really came down to Jalen Carter and Devin Witherspoon. I think I might switch it on air. I'm going with Devin Witherspoon, man. I had Jalen Carter initially, but I really think Devin Witherspoon proved that he could hang with the big dogs as a cornerback. So I love Devin Witherspoon. Very excited to see what Mike McDonald can do over there in Seattle. Shout out to Devin. That was a great pick, I think, when they made that selection last year in the draft. So let's go, Devin. Comeback Player of the Year. We have Damar Hamlin, Joe Flacco, Baker Mayfield, Matt Stafford, and Tua. I just want to be professional. No disrespect to Damar Hamlin. I'm not giving him Comeback Player of the Year. Just because I'm going off football performance, I think it's fantastic that he's back, but I want to give it to him just because I think all these other guys played better. I'm going off football statistics. Joe Flacco came in later of the year, took the Browns to the playoffs. However, I didn't see enough on his resume for me to take him. So Joe Flacco, no. Matt Stafford and Tua. The Dolphins, they're just regular season champs. That's what they play for is the regular season. They didn't win their division. They didn't win a playoff game. As far as I'm concerned, they're not going to win any postseason awards. So it really came down to Baker or Stafford. And then I just thought of the guy that won a playoff game. So I'm going with Baker Mayfield. A lot of people counted him out. All right. A lot of people said he's done. Tampa Bay will be his last team. But it looks like he's here to stay with the Bucs. Very proud of Baker. Well done, sir. I think the stat was, I don't want to butcher it, but the stat was something like the only quarterbacks to win a playoff game with two different teams in a span of X years or something like that. It was him and Tom Brady. Good company right there, right? And then we have Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell. I think it's DeMeco Ryans, John Harbaugh, Kyle Shanahan, and I don't know how to pronounce his name, Kevin Stefanski, Browns coach. Let's see. Chili Ramo said, clap, clap, Baker. Yes, sir. You already know. Brando, you already know. Devin Witherspoon. Stroud for Angelo. Absolutely. Angelo. Oh, look at that, Angelo. We're on the same page. I love it. But for Coach of the Year, I was going to go Campbell, but I just didn't feel it because I feel like he has the weapons, and Ryans did not. So I went with Coach Ryans over there in Houston just because with the rookie quarterback, young defense on that side of the ball, and just the weapons that he had that were I don't think you could compare him at all to the Lions. So I went with Coach Ryans. Shout out to him. Then we have the MVP award, all right? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Dak Prescott, and Brock Purdy. We'll eliminate. So no sir to Dak. No sir to Brock. Josh Allen, fantastic second half, all right, of the season. It was incredible. That was the Josh Allen that we all knew, right? But I can't go with Josh. So it came down to Lamar or Christian McCaffrey. But this is what I have a problem with. I'm giving Lamar, and it's including myself, I'm giving Lamar the MVP all day, right? Because he looked better. He led his team to number 1 seed. But Christian McCaffrey is probably going to win Offensive Player of the Year. So I just want to know what the criteria is for that. I don't really understand. But I don't vote for that kind of stuff. I just do this. So I'm going with Lamar because he looked solid all season. McCaffrey had great games all season as well. But Lamar is just that leader, man. He's just that guy. I think he did what he needed to do, and then his coaching abandoned him in the playoffs, all right? Stick to your run game, man. I don't think I'll ever get over that. But that concludes the awards. I forgot to include my fun facts. This is real quick. Appreciate you guys sticking around. I really do love it. We'll look over the chat real quick. Not Arthur Smith. I agree, Angelo. Yeah, definitely not. Goodbye. Robust one on arm. What up, Troy? Coach of the year should be Arthur Smith. Stop it. Get out of here. Then we have Chili's laughing. Yeah, Purdy or Christian McCaffrey. No way, man. Purdy he threw it away at the end of the year. But I do appreciate the comment. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if they went with Christian McCaffrey as MVP, I wouldn't be mad about that at all. So here's some fun facts. I got about 5 or 6, just in case you want to play this in the, your factoring of who's going to win the Super Bowl. So teams who score first win 67% of the time. That's incredible. That's 2/3. So teams that score first, all right, whether it's a field goal, safety, we saw that with Seahawks Broncos, the absolute beatdown that was. Just any points on the board, your team is more likely going to win. Teams traveling west. So this one's very interesting. So when the Super Bowl is in the middle of the two teams, so we got San Francisco, Kansas City right here. Vegas is right around here. The two teams, whenever they travel, the team that is traveling west wins every single time. Every single time. Isn't that crazy? Like, that's just the kind of stuff that, like, doesn't make any sense, but, it is what it is. Just something to put on your brain. And then this one is crazy, too. I think this is what really made me decide, who I'm going to pick for the game. It was one of the biggest factors. In rematches in the Super Bowl, the losing coach, so two coaches that have played each other before in the Super Bowl with the same teams, the losing coach is 0-3. They have never beaten the coach that's beaten them before. And the coaches are Tom Coughlin versus the one and only Bill Belichick with the Patriots. The Giants, we all know that story. When they got Chuck Noll versus Tom Landry. Chuck Noll 1-2 versus Tom Landry. And then Jimmy Johnson versus Marv Levy. So Cowboys versus Bills in the 90s. I mean, I think that factor was just huge to me just because, like, Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan are very smart, but I think Andy Reid's really got the one-up on him because he's been here before, man. He's got way more experience in the postseason than Kyle Shanahan. Patriots are the last team to go back-to-back, and that was in 04 and 05, so tell that to all your friends at the Super Bowl party that you watch Fantasy Blitz. Got to spread the good word. And then 8 out of the last 9 Super Bowls, the winner of the coin toss loses. Now, the Chiefs broke that last year because they won the coin toss and then ended up winning the game. So previously it was 8 straight games. And then I couldn't find anywhere that had like the entire stat or the entire number. But I looked over the entire list and I didn't count, but it looks like it's over half of the teams that win the Super Bowl loses. So it's 50-50. You never know. And then the last team to go, not to win, but to go back-to-back was the Patriots. They went to 3 straight. 51, which they won. We won't talk about that one. 52, they played the Eagles. They lost. And then 53, played the Rams, and they won. No team has gone back-to-back since. And then the last stat that I thought was very interesting was that teams that wear whites are 37 and 57 winning the game. So that's a 64.9, 65% if you would like to round up. Win percentage. And I believe who's wearing white this year? Oh, my goodness. Why didn't I know that? I believe it's the 49ers, I think. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. That's it for the show today. Let's see. Let's look over the chat one more time. Hit us with the fun facts. You already know, Wayne Heron. Appreciate you, Pops. Then we got Brandon. No disrespect, but Stefanski should win Coach of the Year. He had nothing but leftovers on his team from injuries. I agree. That's why I think that no, they like whoever made these nominations didn't get it wrong at all, because every guy on that list was deserving. So if they went with Stefanski or whatever, however you pronounce his name, getting ahead of myself, I wouldn't be against it at all. So if they go with him, sure thing, I agree, because they lost their quarterback, they lost their running back, and they got banged up with injuries all year, and they had to get Joe Flacco, who ended up putting on a fantastic performance, I may say. Chili Rainbow agrees with Brandon. Yeah. I mean, totally. I want to be against it at all. But yeah, that's it for the show today. I appreciate you guys. Next week, I am going to be streaming again. We're going to be going over the Super Bowl, what it means for, if Mahomes and the Chiefs win, what it means for their legacy, what it means for them as a franchise. If the 49ers win, what does that mean for Purdy? What does it mean for guys that get drafted later on? We've already seen that story with Tom Brady. What does it say about Kyle Shanahan as a coach? We still got a game to play. As I always say, the game is never played on this piece of paper. Never. All right, so we got to watch on the gridiron itself. But that's it for the show. Really do appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your week. Let me know in the comments after this video who you all got in the Super Bowl, who your MVP is for regular season, Super Bowl, whatever it may be. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Once again, I have the Chiefs winning 31-27. Mahomes has the MVP. This is Elijah Heron signing out for Fantasy Blitz. God bless, be kind, and I don't know, have a great rest of your week. Peace.